outraged after a high school yearbook includes features on sex, drugs, and underage drinking. The Kirkwood High School yearbook has students share their opinions on hookup culture and the benefits of casual relationships, and documents the weirdest places students have hooked up, including mall dressing rooms, football fields, and even parking lots. Michelle Westerfield is a Missouri parent who lives near the district where this happened, and she joins me now. Michelle, what a bizarre situation to be in. I couldn't imagine being a parent opening up that school yearbook. What'd you think when you heard this?
This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. This is the merch. Get the link in the description section. Also, I got a bunch of dad Father's Day shirts that we've just launched. All you have to do is put in dad up, and during pre-order, you get 30% off of those shirts. The link is in the description section. It's like 3 or 4 shirts that we just launched. I think it's about 3 shirts, 30% off. Just put in dad up, one word, just like this, dad up, and you'll get 30% off of the shirts and pre-order all the way through Wednesday. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live, make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Now, I want to go to another article that I was just reading earlier. Salacious high school yearbook rattles parents with pages on casual sex, drinking, and partying. At what point do parents take a stand and say, I'm no longer allowing my kids to be in an environment of debauchery and be at a school where they ain't teaching them nothing but to be liberal maniacs? All that they're doing in some of these school systems are brainwashing your kids. They're not teaching them anything. They're teaching them how to be woke. They're teaching your kids how to talk about transgender. No, teach them math. They don't need to know nothing about sex. They need to know about math. They need to know how to build relationships. They need to understand finances. Why can't you teach a kid finances instead of telling them about oral sex and all kind of old crazy stuff that they're teaching your kids today?
The school district explained, or at least trying to explain in a statement, as school officials do not engage in prior review, the content of KHS media is determined by and reflects only the views of the student staff and not school officials or the school itself. So they're basically trying to distance themselves from this. But what does this signify to you of the oversight that these teachers have on our students in school?
Right. So I believe that these kids have been completely misled by their educators. These are real life issues that seem cool in a yearbook. I feel heartbroken for the kids that don't engage it. They're 14-year-old kids that go to this high school who might feel now peer pressure to maybe get into this stuff when they beforehand never really thought about doing any of these things. You can still talk about the real life issues by maybe educating on the dangerous statistics and the consequences of casual sex and doing drugs and drinking alcohol. That would have been appropriate for a yearbook. Not glamorizing it, not normalizing it.
No. And then the yearbook staff, they defended the move too, saying, we stand by our book and are proud of what we have accomplished. We are grateful for the right and freedom to publish what we believe is relevant to what students are experiencing and discussing. Yeah, they've got freedom, but what they're doing is illegal. And they're basically, praising it. But what's it show about the future of our kids? I mean, what is their only to life? It's like they think that drinking and partying is all they have.
Right, exactly. I think that parents also have failed these kids. It's almost as if they just gave up and said, it is what it is. I mean, we have to still try to get our kids to make the right decisions. They're young kids. They're going to be feeling peer pressure. And I just feel like this is completely, we failed this generation somehow by making it just seem cool and not being parents. I mean, parents have to parent. The teachers need to educate in ways that don't encourage this type of stuff.
Let me tell you where this is leading. And people that listen to me, you hear me say this all the time. This is leading to pedophilia. They want to desensitize your children. They want to mold them and groom them so they are perpetual victims in the future that they can take advantage of. I was listening to this article, and I don't know where it came from. I don't know if this guy was actually a pedophile and he was speaking from prison, or the guy was just informed about the way pedophilia works. He was saying that they target certain kids that are vulnerable, kids that do not have fathers, kids that are shy and in the corner, isolating themselves. Those are the kids that pedophiles target. And this is exactly what they're trying to create in your children.
There are certain characteristics that you look for in children before molesting them.
In children, yes, but more I also looked at their families. If I thought the father was a threat, I would not approach the child. If I thought that the child had friends that he would tell, I would not approach him.
So perhaps a child that doesn't really have a whole lot of friends, maybe not really a strong family, things like that.
Yes, no spiritual values, weak in education, needs help in many ways, even from split parenting, has a mother who may be having problems with the family, well, here comes superhero in to help out, wow, well, thank you very much. No problem. You ever need me to take them away for the night so you can have a night out? No problem. It works.
If daddy's not around, what is the school system trying to teach your kids? That maybe because you're confused, because you have trauma in your life, because you miss your father, you never had a father in your life, or your trauma means that you're trans. And I tell you this, some young people have an identity crisis, and they may not feel confident. They may not feel, some kids are isolated. They're outcasts. But you know how to not be an outcast? According to the left lunatics that teach at these schools, is for you to now become a protected class. If you were a transgender kid, people will be talking about you. You will be, they'll have flags for you, and they'll be singing your praises. If you were, a part of the LGBTQ and all this other stuff, then you become somebody. And they trick these kids into doing these things. I said this, I don't know what I said. I've been talking for like 15 hours a day. But I had made mention that one of the things that they do to children that I think is completely asinine, and I don't know how our country don't stop this from happening, is that they lie to children in the transition stuff, in the transgender stuff. They lie to these kids. They tell a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 15-year-old, a prepubescent kid that you can be a woman. They don't have the courage to explain to a young boy who's confused what a woman really is. A woman isn't subject to makeup, lipstick, and a dress. That don't make you a woman. There's a lot of other things that are biological that make women women. And I think that that's something in society that we should celebrate, that's something that we should honor, we should respect, we shouldn't pimp out. And I think it's funny because we talk about blackface. You have a white person wearing blackface and impersonating a caricature of an ignorant black person. People are upset about blackface. What about woman face? Where you have a man with genitalia of a man impersonating a woman. How disrespectful is that? That you have the gall to somehow live as a man your whole life, and then in 30 minutes you get all the benefits of being a woman. Women have been fighting for an incredibly long time for equality in this country, and you get the transition in 30 minutes? You get the transition in a year, and somehow you get the benefits of all the women that have been fighting this long for equality? How dare you? I think it's so disrespectful for people who become trans that don't actually respect women. Leah Thomas, the man, do not respect women, and it's shameful. And I would say this, and I'm not trans, I don't go through that in my mind, and if I did, I wish y'all would pray for me. Don't throw me off a cliff and tell me to put a dress on. But if Leah Thomas, the man, really cared about women and really had an honor and respect for women, why would you then take advantage of women in the swimming pool? Why would you then take your narrow behind in that locker room and pull your pants down and expose your genitalia to women? Let me tell you how crazy this is, because nobody gonna tell y'all this but me, and I got 1 minute. When I was in the locker room, men in the locker room, We didn't always drop our stuff, man. You had a towel and you talk to another man with a towel and you keep your eyes right here. Then why, if the men do that, then why would Leah Thomas go in a locker room full of women, attracted to women, and drop his underwear all the way down to where he's exposing his genitalia to women? That man is sick and don't care about women. He has his own nefarious purposes for transitioning just to beat these women over the head in swimming. He should be ashamed of himself, and I have zero respect for people that do that. Hold the phone. I'll be back after the break.